Hello and welcome. This is the Market Wrap. I am Agam Akil. Well, it's been a fairly volatile day of trade on account of geopolitical tensions between India and Pakistan. And we have seen the Nifty come off by as much as 0.4%, snapping a 4-day gaining streak. The Nifty ending, well, just above the mark of 10,800. And in terms of stocks which actually dragged down the Nifty were, well, perhaps some of the heavier weight counters such as Infosys, ICICI Bank, HDFC, and perhaps something like a State Bank of India, all down in trade. Indiabulls Housing Finance, the biggest loser on the index, down by as much as 2.9%. On the gaining end, we did see some recovery in Z Entertainment Enterprises, up for 5.5%, as we did in case of Tata Motors too. TCS, Coal India, and Indian Oil Corp, among others, were providing some amount of support to the indices. But the advanced decline ratio, not favorable. We have nearly one gainer for two losers. And in terms of gainers too, Adani Power surging in the last half an hour of trade, up 15%. Swan Energy also advancing by 11%. We have ITDC, KRBL, Reliance Communication, WAPCO all advancing substantially. Adani Transmission, on the other hand, down 6.7%, followed by Suzlon Energy, Reliance Home, as well as HCL Info Systems. But on that note, I'm going to get in our markets editor, Neeraj Shah, to get in his thoughts. Neeraj, well, a day determined largely by political risks at this point in time. What are your thoughts here?
No, I mean, difficult to really put some thoughts to this, but for the fact that most people, in the morning when there was no clarity about what's happened, were also saying that if the extent of the to and fro is limited to what was reportedly happened at that point of time, then they didn't see too much of damage to the currency or to the equity markets as well. I think that's how probably the market signal, that's what the market signal has happened right off now. The currency appreciated intraday. The bond yields maybe inched up a little bit, but nothing too dramatic. The equity markets recovered quite a bit of lost ground. So it's not been all that bad. In the end, it almost seemed business as usual. And maybe that's how the market should be taking this right now. Unless signs of some further moves come about, maybe it should be viewed as business as usual. And that's what I think we saw both in the large cap as well as the mid cap arena. The question mark only is, there's a lot of other events that will happen. Jay Powell speaks today. India GDP numbers come out on Thursday. Of course. So I think lots to monitor aside of what's happening on the geopolitical front. So maybe cognizance of that.
Absolutely. Well, Neeraj, thank you for that perspective here. So we're going to be watching out for some of those factors as well. But let's talk about stocks. Well, two stocks which also stood out in trade today. One of them is Reliance Communication. The other one was Tata Motors. And I'm going to get in Sharad Dubey from our research team to talk about those. Sharad, what do you have for us?
Yes, Agam, Reliance Communication, if you can see the chart, the stock went up ended the day almost 7% up. This is based on the news reported by Bloomberg that the company had won its case on its past dues liability on its spectrum sale. The tribunal said that the government can't raise new claims for its new owners. So Agam, basically we need to see that the Department of Telecom also approved that the spectrum sale may or may not happen. So apart from this, I think this move can potentially save RCom from insolvency proceedings, as well as let's not get too overwhelmed by it, and let's see whether the DOT will challenge this case in the Supreme Court. The next news is definitely Sharda Motors. So this is up by almost 10% up and closed around 9% up. It's highest in 12 weeks after the company entered into a JV agreement with Obosch exhaust technology. So basically this JV is to go into the BS6 norms, and this will be operational by 2020, and the company will be actually marketing and selling these exhaust pipes. So I think these two stocks were buzzing in the mid-cap space today, especially RCom. At around 3 o'clock the news had come in. So that's the thing.
Okay, thank you, Sharad, for bringing us those details. So don't forget, besides these stocks, we're also keeping an eye on several other developments with respect to geopolitics between India and Pakistan. And of course, as Neeraj has spoken about, we will also keep an eye on the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, and what he has to say about interest rate trajectory going forward. A lot of macroeconomic data to also keep an eye on as we move into trade this week. On that note, it's a wrap on the markets. Lots more lined up. Stay tuned to Bloomberg.